What's going on, guys? Bengal here, joined today by Zigzag. He's got a GeoGuessr channel, which will be linked in the description fuck! Oh, man, I never screw up. That's frustrating. All right, quickly, hey, contain your laughter. All right, here we go.
All right.
What's going on, guys? Bengal again here, joined today for the first time by Zigzag. He's got a GeoGuessr channel. It's going to be linked down in the description, as well as the link to this challenge. And what is this challenge? I'll let Zigzag explain.
All right, thanks for having me on, Bengal. And so basically today we're going to be doing some forms of blind GeoGuessr. And so for the first round, I've drawn 5 illustrations of rounds of GeoGuessr, and he's going to have to try and guess based on my illustrations where he is in the world. So definitely a unique and difficult challenge, and hopefully my drawings are clear enough. And then after that, we're going to be playing some blind GeoGuessr, where he's going to see the round and try and explain it to me. Meanwhile, I don't see anything and I have to make a guess based on that. And so you guys can see if you can beat me with seeing the actual round itself. But yeah, let's get straight into it, shall we?
We've also done an episode over on Zigzag's channel as well, where I've drawn them, and that should be pretty fun as well. I'm not sure mine are quite as good as these, but this is the first one. You guys are seeing it live with me for the first time, and I suppose we'll get right into it. We're just going to see it, decide where we want to guess on the map, and then go over to the actual link and try to get as many points as possible. Now, I did see a small thumbnail of this earlier, and I joked with you that I thought it was West Virginia. Now that I actually see it full size, I'm not quite so sure because, I mean, I think those mountains kind of have like an Appalachian feel to them. I think that's possible. With the yellow middle lines, it kind of makes sense for it to be the U.S. I think it's pretty clear that that's a church, or at least something quite similar. We have those here in the U.S. And then just some random houses on the right side. Now, I think that's a train track, I would say. And I think that could also be like a river or a stream, but it also could be like a sidewalk. It's kind of tough to tell with the colors. But I think it could be water. I think that's reasonable.
I wanted to say my kind of artistic license was that the sticks in the background are actually trees.
Yeah.
I just didn't have time to draw the branches.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I've my trees, as you'll see on Zigzag's channel, are interesting to say the least. It's kind of like splashes of like, I don't know. Well, you'll see. I think I'm feeling U.S. for sure, and I think it does feel Appalachian. You kind of have like that style of mountain range, and with that brown color, it feels kind of fall. I think I am going to go West Virginia here.
All right.
In Chat Guesser now. So I'm going to go ahead and place my guess very close to where I'm going to place it in the actual seed. We just want to have no cheating, no influence. And, jumping back here to the round, I'm not feeling anything different. Obviously, it's very tough to get any type of regional tell. I think just placing it, dead center of West Virginia kind of makes sense to me. So I'll probably end up going just south of Sutton here, or near Tesla. That's kind of fun. Here we go, starting the game, seeing the seed for the first time. It feels even more West Virginia than I thought. I think it was done pretty well. I think we got the feel. I think we got the vibe of it down. Feels very Appalachian. I could see Pennsylvania, but we're going to go ahead and throw down in that West Virginia area and see how in sync we are, just south of Sutton near Tesla.
Let's see how we going.
And that is 70 miles away in West Virginia.
Baby. Got the stay.
That's a pretty good start. That's not bad.
He got it from the tiny thumbnail I sent him earlier as a preview for the video, so that's pretty crazy.
West Virginia feels like West Virginia, I guess.
Yeah, country road, baby. All right. So
round 2.
Over the second one now. Yep.
All right, here we go. This one I had not seen. I really only remembered the West Virginia one. This one also has a U.S. feel to it, and that just isn't because it says U.S. Creek Road over here, but I think that is helpful. But this feels a little bit more like Midwest to West. I wouldn't go as far as like the real West Coast. I think like a Nebraska could be good. U.S. Creek Road. We kind of get like the rolling hills. You'd say those are rolling hills? Something similar. What is this thing going on the right side?
Yeah. I'll allow that. So that was some kind of pipe. It was some kind of pipe.
It comes a pipe just sticking out. Oh, okay. Yeah. I see that now. Yeah. I think I think we have the general feel right. These are a couple easy rounds for me, at least, with the yellow middle lines, and especially the U.S. sign. You got a
Yeah,
stop
always helps to have
sign.
those road markings. Yeah.
Now, you're going to be shocked by this. I'm not exactly sure where U.S. Creek Road is.
What? Seriously?
Yeah, my uncle doesn't live down that street.
Sad.
But I think I am going to pull up the map here. I think I would like to go somewhere in like this Nebraska range. Now, my only concern with that is it might feel a little bit too green, but of course we're drawing these. We're not professional artists. It's kind of tough to say, like, based off the feel. And we know these are all going to be trees.
Mm-hmm. I'll say I was trying to be pretty accurate with the color in this one.
Yeah. So we got the white trees.
Do take that. Yeah.
Birch action. So I might go a little bit more north. Maybe I would go for like a Minnesota as a result, just assuming those are like birch trees. Might push me up a little bit north. Could be like Upper Peninsula, Michigan. I think those are options. Because it's like we don't get birch trees in a lot of different areas of the U.S. It's really up here in like Maine, Vermont, New Hampshire, upstate New York. Like you can find them other places, but I don't think they're going to be quite as common. I think it's going to be like Michigan,
right.
Wisconsin, Minnesota, maybe a little bit in the Dakotas, and then as you get more west, kind of get to more of those evergreen trees.
That's true.
I think I'd be comfortable with the Minnesota. I don't want to go somewhere too flat, like the Dakotas. And I think, let's turn on terrain mode here. I don't know. If I'm going based off the trees, I could go somewhere in like, I think I'm going to go with like Wisconsin maybe. Like right here south of Eau Claire, north of Winona, like near this Minnesota-Wisconsin border. I could be totally off. The round to me feels more Canadian, but the U.S. Creek Road sign I think is going to push me to guess exactly where I put it down. It's also a nice little hedge as well. I don't have to be too crazy. Let's go ahead and load into the actual seat. I've made my guess. It's going to be south of Eau Claire.
Yep.
And let's see the actual round for the first time.
See what the round looks like.
Oh, I would go way more west. Yeah, I mean, it's an accurate depiction. Just obviously with the feel, you know.
Yeah. There's a lot more trees that would have been.
Oh,
yeah.
But this is quite pretty. I don't know, though. The trees are kind of funny. Where would I actually go? Probably maybe Wyoming. Well, let's go ahead and place it where I said and see how many points we get. Oh, it's Alaska. Yeah, that makes sense. Like, it makes sense, especially with the trees and the like, I guess the trees is kind of the big thing here. It's pretty open, but
I think if we were facing the other direction, you may have been able to get it, but it kind of looks with the big truck there, kind of feels more Alaskan maybe, but yeah, tough one.
Yeah, I definitely see Alaska, but see, that's the thing is when you kind of get those rounds where you're like, I don't know where this could be. There's obviously something weird about it, and it means it wasn't necessarily like
you definitely picked up that there was
states.
Something strange. You definitely picked up that there was something strange about it.
Yeah, those are always tough though because it's like my brain's trying to talk me out of guessing where I'm trying to guess.
Right.
Yeah, Alaska definitely makes sense here. It was a fun.
Nice work. Still got the country. 2 country streak so far.
Not horrible, I guess. Okay. This should go for a lot of money in the right marketplace. This is artistic.
Thank you. The perspective is fully on point.
Man, the green plate should tell me something, I guess. I
guess it should, yeah.
I think I am gonna get it as a result. Maybe. I mean, I think we're right side drive. We get these little like buggies, and we get the palm trees going on. I think this is gonna be the Philippines. We got like a concrete road, or what I'm assuming to be concrete. I think you do see these little. What are these buggies called?
Tuk-tuks.
Yeah, tuk-tuk. You see you see the tuk-tuks in like Peru, Bangladesh. And I could see him being in the Philippines. And with the palm trees, the only place that I can really think of that's going to have a green plate or something similar when it looks like this, I think would have to be the Philippines. We get tires on the side of the road. I'm trying to think, could I be missing anything? But with the tuk-tuks, I feel like your options are going to be like somewhat limited. Again, I can really only think Peru, Bangladesh, and I mean, I guess other parts of Southeast Asia.
Mm-hmm.
At least for what's covered by GeoGuessr. I've seen similar ones in Colombia, I guess, but the architecture to me is not like overtly Philippines looking.
Mm.
But then I try to think of like what is Philippines architecture to me, and it's like shacks and stuff. Like I don't really know, and especially in like a city.
Mm-hmm.
But I think with the plate, I mean that green is so vibrant, it's kind of yelling at me to go Philippines. So I think that's where I'm going to end up going. Pulling up the map.
That's whereabouts you thinking?
I'm probably just going to go near Manila, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's probably my bet. So let's go ahead and pull back up the seed, look at it for the first
check it out.
time. Oh no, I've made a mistake.
Yeah.
Oh no. Yeah, the architecture should have been the tell that something was wrong, but
Yeah, I tried to kind of get the walls in there because that's kind of like a big clue for.
yeah, for sure.
Well, where do you think it is? Where do you think it is now?
I see this. I mean, I would say it's almost certainly Africa, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, I was way off. I'm gonna have to end up going Philippines anyway, of course. But yeah, I think this is gonna end up being Nigeria, and I don't know, maybe Ibadan if I wanted to throw it. I guess doesn't quite feel like Lagos.
Uh-huh.
But I could see it being Nigeria for sure.
Unlucky.
And it is going to be just outside of Lagos, Ikorodu.
Yeah. Interesting.
didn't
Like
butcher that
suburb of Lagos there. Yeah, that was a tough one. It was kind of like there was so much detail. It was kind of hard to get it all in.
Yeah, you know what it was.
Yeah, the green plate was tough though. Yeah.
The palm trees too kind of just made me instinctively go Southeast Asia. But yeah, they're all over Africa, obviously, especially West Africa. Yeah, that was a good one. I just kind of the game can be tough sometimes, especially without the typical tells.
Also, I will say, like your tuk-tuk's like, kind of logic was like on the right track.
Mm-hmm.
They're definitely not as common in Africa, that's for sure. But I guess just in Lagos you can see them too. So it was I knew that was a potential curveball. So
yeah, I mean, that was a good one. I mean, these are supposed to be fun and challenging. I think that's exactly what this was. Okay, so this is one of those ones that I would naturally struggle with, like exactly where. Like I got a general idea. I mean, we see white lines, we see guardrails. However, you get those in a lot of different places. Now, I first thought like Eastern Europe. I thought maybe like this is a Slovenia or something like that. But now, I mean, I'm looking at this mirror. I'm looking at these poles. I mean, I thought Japan briefly too. I guess it could be, but I don't know that you'd see poles that look quite like this. In Japan, usually you'd see like the caution across them. So, but I am getting that feel at least with the road and with this mirror, and I've seen guardrails, and it could be low cam.
Right.
I really could be. It's just so tough to say because we're going off like I guess really just road lines now for region.
Yeah, this was definitely a sparse round, that's for sure. That has got clues.
I'd want to go, and I know that whatever's going on with the guardrail here on this left side, I know that's got to be something, right? I don't know exactly what, and I know that you added these, what I assume to be stickers on the pole. I think that's you're trying to tell me something. I just don't know what it is. Is the problem?
Just a bit of realism. Gotta add this pole stickers.
It's a challenge. I think if this were like Malaysia or something, I don't think we'd see the mirror. I guess we could, but I'm not sure. And I know they have pole stickers. They don't look quite like this. And I think you'd show me some palm trees because those are so common there. I think those would probably be in the round. I don't know. I'm struggling a bit here to get exactly where. because not everywhere uses guardrails.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when I think guardrails, I instantly think like, I mean, I see them in Spain, Montenegro. I think it's just too green for me to confidently go Spain here, even though it can be quite green in the north.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, going to get a lot of clarity when we see the actual round.
Yeah,
I
definitely.
think I'm going to end up going. The mirror is throwing me off so bad because
Yeah, the
it's
mirror
like,
definitely limits the possibilities.
yeah, I just don't know where I've seen that in Japan. I've seen one at least similar in Denmark, but if we're to be like orange like that, and I just don't know. That's the problem. I just don't know.
Yep.
Because oh man, this is a challenge. I think I'm just gonna end up. If this is Japan, I'm gonna be so upset. I really am gonna be. Do I just go Japan anyway, or do I hedge Europe? Oh man. There's nothing on the line. I don't know why I'm sweating this so bad. I don't think you'd see the white middle lines like this in Japan. I'm gonna end up going Europe. I'm gonna go like Slovakia. It doesn't feel like Slovakia quite. Maybe I'm gonna go Slovenia. I'm gonna go Slovenia. I'm gonna click like right in the middle, or somewhat at least. All right, let's see it for the first time.
Let's take a look.
Okay, it is Japan. I'm gonna be. I knew it, dude. Oh, that's frustrating.
Unlucky. Yeah, I guess the warning stickers on the poles were covered up by the really tall grass.
Yeah,
No.
I thought it could have been a real strong possibility, and what stinks so many times. I mentioned Japan.
Yeah.
I just thought it was less likely that we'd see white middle lines compared to the rest of Europe. Oh, frustrating.
Yeah. They often use yellow ones in Japan. That's true.
But or nothing as well.
Yeah, true.
But yeah. Oh, that one was there. That one was gettable. But
true.
Also,
the reflector on the guardrail there is quite Japanese as well. That round one. Yeah.
Just frustrating.
Not to worry.
Oh yeah, but it's frustrating because it's like I had it in my grasp, and I go Slovenia.
Yeah, true.
Brutal.
Unlucky. I understand the Europe hedge. There's many countries that look like that in Europe as well.
You know what was the frustrating part? Like really frustrating, is I was so close to just going Japan, because if it was, not only would I be probably pretty close with a Nagoya hedge or something like that, but it's like I would have been less frustrated. I'm like, oh, it's just some European country.
It
was so close.
You're right. Okay. Here's round 5 for you.
Oh man, we have a lot of North America here. We get the 112 West, blue sign, yellow middle lines, and we have like this little yellow sleeve. But I don't know that I can say those are just only to the United States. I think they do have them in Canada as well. I get a yellow sign in the distance. I think if it were Canada, it might have some black and white and yellow checkering on it, but also like maybe not. And I think this sign certainly looks more Canadian to me. And these white trees, I think the coloring is probably super important. I think you're probably trying to say that this is like a birch tree. A lot of evergreen, like clear evergreen trees. And I think we see a lot of these signs, at least the way that it looks, in like the French Canada type area. Like, I mean, something like this. Now, I'm not going to look for the 112 West, but I could see it being somewhere in French Canada. So I'm just going to end up like clicking right in there in the middle of Montreal, Quebec, and Sherbrooke, and throw that down and hopefully not be too far off about that. And
here's what it's looking like.
You know what? Something's not quite right, but I could see it being way farther west than I initially had thought. But we'll have to see, right?
We shall see.
Yeah, I'm trying to think where this would actually be. I think it still could be the U.S., but with the birch trees, I think it's less likely. I'm not upset about my guess. Just the road just doesn't quite feel like like how I think it would around here. But go ahead and throw it
It's
down.
got like a
And,
reddish tinge to it. Not bad at all, though. Hey.
yeah, not horrible. There's the 112 in New Brunswick. Yeah, I can't be too upset about that. Got under 10K, but it really was just that Japan round there, and I would have been pretty happy with the score. But that's not too bad. I think your drawing was pretty good. Getting the right state at for the round one, I think it was only destined to be downhill from there.
Yeah, but that was a beautiful guess. But you got 3 out of 5 countries right. If you look at it another way, 3 out of 5 countries right is a pretty good effort.
I would say so. I hope you are at least somewhere in that same range, because what does that say about me as an artist if it's less? Well, are you ready for some blind guesser?
Yeah, let's do it. Absolutely. So I'll exit out the stream.
Yeah,
let's do it. So I guess the rules would be like no, you couldn't tell me like the exact. Like if you know it's like English or French or something, you couldn't tell me the exact language, but you could tell me it's like Latin script or something like that.
Okay, so how do you feel about car meta in case it comes up? Like obviously ignore that. I would say.
Yeah. Unless it's a really difficult round, we'll go without car meta.
Okay, so we are in the round. It feels fairly open. Okay. The ground is, I would say, like it looks pretty rich. The soil color. Like some dark browns, some real like deep browns. It's not forested per se. That's not a correct description, but it is kind of out, in a rural area. There's a lot of green going on as well. I would say some deep greens, but it's not. I'm trying to carefully describe these trees without giving away too much. It doesn't feel. I mean, I'm going to use the word. It doesn't feel tropical. I hopefully that isn't too much of a spoiler.
No,
but
that's fair. That's
I
fair.
think that gives you kind of. I don't know if they're deciduous trees. I'm not quite sure on my terminology.
Right.
But you get some.
Do we have road lines?
We don't.
We don't have any road lines. Dirt road.
It is asphalt. It's like it's like a fairly black pavement. Okay, I would say the edges of the road they're not bad, but they're not perfect.
Right. Are we able to tell what side of the road we're driving on?
We can. We are driving on the left side.
Oh, beautiful. That's very helpful then.
Yeah, I think that it would be.
Definitely narrows down the possibilities there. Okay, cool.
There are some signs on the side of the road. They are just like square signs, not rectangular, but truly square signs held up by white posts on either side.
White posts. Okay, immediately I'm thinking New Zealand now, but it could be Uruguay's. No, Uruguay's drives right, so should be. I think New Zealand is most likely with the white post, left-hand drive, rich soil. But
they're not bollards. They're just like what's holding up the sign, and the sizes of the signs of like considerable size as well. It's not just like very little.
Right. Do we see? Is it flat around?
I'll tell you, it is fairly flat. However, there are some hills in the distance, but it's not.
Right.
I would not describe the overall environment as mountainous at all. But there is a ridge to our direct east, which is the way we're looking. Which I'm not that that's relevant, but it's not really mountainous. It's fairly flat. It's just you're looking on for quite some distance, and I'll tell you, there are buildings as well.
There are buildings.
Yes.
Do you know which way the sun is?
I do, because I know where we are, but I would say it's tough to see sun direction. I would say it is. The sun is not distinctly north or south. I would say it's from what I can tell, and there are a bunch of clouds, so it's tough to say if that's the sun or not. But I would say the sun is east.
Okay.
It's
gotcha.
not.
No problem.
Yeah. Now let me describe these buildings to you.
All right. Let's hear the buildings, and then I'll make my guess. I think.
Yeah. So they're made out of like a hodgepodge of different stones, different like square cement blocks. And they're flat. They're very very small buildings as well in terms of vertical height, right? They're shorter buildings, but they're kind of long.
Flat roofs.
Somewhat, for sure.
Okay.
There is writing on them as well. We have. I'll tell you. There's a year, 2010. That's not going to be. It's not going to tell you much, but it does say that.
Not necessarily.
But I would say
it can help.
You have like these little kind of cement shops made out of all these different blocks.
Yeah.
And
Okay. I think I'm basically ready to guess here. So I do think it's pretty much between South Africa and New Zealand here. And maybe now I might be leaning more South Africa. Both countries have a lot of Gen 2, which is from about 2010, so that would help. The rich soil, I guess the description of the buildings would probably fit more with South Africa than anything from what you've said. So I was thinking maybe like near the Lesotho border, maybe like near the north side of the Lesotho border in South Africa. I'm not really sure how often they use white signposts there, but I think they might sometimes. So
they're not even I don't know. I don't want the signs to be misleading. I don't think they're government. I think it's like an advertisement of some sort.
Okay, that's good. Yeah. In which case, I do like South Africa best, I think. So, yeah, just near Lesotho, I want to say, with that soil color, perhaps.
Are you ready to see the round?
Yeah, let's see it.
You're gonna be upset with me. We'll see.
Okay.
I mean, maybe not, because I think it'll be self-explanatory.
All right.
As I am now live.
Okay, let me get on there. Oh,
yeah.
Dude, didn't even occur to me. Okay, that makes sense with the stone buildings, though. I got the right continent, but
yes.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense. I just did not even consider it. It's funny, we were talking about how hard Kenya is without the car.
Right before we started recording.
Yeah, but I really thought that it would be South Africa when I heard the 2010 thing, because I thought that would mean we were in 2010.
That's why I said you're going to be upset with me, because it's clearly not what's going on here.
But
it does say 2010, so I'm not going to leave it out necessarily.
Yeah, true.
Even though that was potentially misleading. However, it wasn't intentionally misleading. I don't know about all that stuff. 2010.
Of course.
Carmetta. So, we're going to be in Kenya because of the car, but we'll throw out near the Lesotho border. Any preferred side?
Yeah, I did say north of it, so yeah, we'll go there.
There you go.
All right, stop watching. All right. Hopefully next round's a bit more of a success. I think it hopefully will be.
All right, here we go. I think it will be as well. This one.
All right. Good.
This one is very interesting. Very interesting, because you have all white road lines. All white.
Okay, good.
And a lot of them.
Very good to know.
So we're on a road that I would say has 3 lanes overall.
Okay.
The farthest left lane has an arrow to the left as we're about to be turning to the left. There are 2 solid middle lines down the middle of the road.
Yeah, gotcha.
And the line separating the third lane is dashed white.
Okay. And so which side of the road would you say we're driving on, if you can tell?
There is a road to, I would just say, the left of the screen, with a stop sign on the left side and a line indicating that we're driving on the left to stop. So I would say we're pretty clearly driving on the left side.
Yeah.
And in the middle of the, I would say, the intersection is a very interesting looking sign, but it doesn't say anything on the sign. There are 3 posts going upward, and there are 2 of the same actual sign material, one at the very top, one in the middle of those 3 posts. They are white and black with diagonal lines, and in the middle it's like the diagonal lines form a triangle.
Oh. I'm not quite sure what to make of that. That's interesting. Okay, so what would you say about the climate?
Now, this is the interesting part. It is very, very, very green. Very green. Very green. Okay. Which, looks interesting. There are signs to the left. There are, it looks like, I would say, probably 3 locations stacked on top of each other with arrows on the sign indicating the town name in that direction.
What color is that sign?
So the 3 on top, or at least 2 of the 3 are green. One in the middle that I would say indicates the road is white, and there's a bottom one as well that's brown with white text.
Okay, so I was really thinking that this might be Australia. I was also thinking of Malaysia when you said super green, but I think they would probably use like blue signs there. So maybe it is Australia. Do we see any eucalyptus trees? You know what I mean when I say eucalyptus tree? Do we see any of those?
See, some of the trees are quite far. They don't look like classic eucalyptus trees, like 100% for sure, but I would say that I think I can make out a few of them. The trees on our right that are closest are thin and white.
Thin and white. Oh.
They are, but with a kind of a bushier texture to them.
Okay. Can you see many number plates? Are they longer ones or shorter ones?
No cars. There is long green grass.
Yeah.
And on the left side of us, the green grass, it looks kind of like straw-like, wheat-like, and like with little white flower-ish looking things on top of them, but tough to say for certain. I don't want that to change your guess too much.
Right. Okay. I'm almost ready to guess. Do you have any other like last details? What's the like quality of the road like? Is it
very good? Very good.
Yeah. Okay. I think I'm thinking just like of like maybe north of Brisbane in Australia. I think I'm really not quite sure here. Still other possibilities. I think like Europe's not necessarily out of contention, but the green and brown certainly reminds me of Australia. So I think I'm just going to go somewhere in like maybe middle of Queensland on the coast.
Yeah, I think you're going to be quite pleased when you see the round.
All right, let's check it out. Oh yeah, that's basically exactly where I guess for this. Perfect. Yeah. So yeah, just middle of Queensland on the coast.
Let's see. 167 miles away, pretty good. And
Let's go.
You probably even are closer if you guess exactly where you want.
No, that's where you clicked is probably. I mean, like without having.
Yeah, I try to go in the middle.
Yeah, that's where I wanted you to go. So yeah, nice.
Good.
Happy with that. All right, I'll stop streaming. Yeah.
All right, next round. Oh, interesting. So, okay. We're in a sandy climate. Like, we have a lot of sand off to the right.
Yep.
And there are palm trees.
Okay.
Quite a few of them.
Immediately, this has ruled out, like, 100 countries.
The road is black with white outside lines. It's a two-way, I'll call it a highway, with a yellow middle line separating each side of the highway.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, I know what you mean.
There is a yellow sign with a black arrow. We're driving on the right.
Yep.
The poles that we can see are very tall and brown with electrical wires stretching the length of the road.
Okay.
And off in the distance, I can see some jagged mountain ranges.
Oh.
Now, in my head, it sounds like I'm describing a place that I don't want it to be too misleading.
Right. I mean, this has been a very good description. This has been extremely useful. So I think I've already narrowed it down to like a short list of countries that it can be. I think Chile, Peru, Ecuador are all possible. And then maybe like a Colombia or Mexico as well. Northern Colombia or Mexico.
The cars that we can see are far in the distance. I can't see a plate, but they are both silver. And it's very tough to see a building through some of the tall palm trees. And the palm trees are quite tall. But it looks to be some sort of like square-like multi-story, like reddish, like not quite pastel, but reddish, like pink, orangey, brown, like a combination of those four colors
Okay.
into one place. And there is a big sign off to our right. It's tough to make out what any of it says. It looks like there might be some animal on it. And it's held up by two, I would say, quite tall wooden poles. And the wood poles halfway down have like a black circle, I would say, all the way around, making a ring on the pole. And there's about 10 of those all the way down.
Oh, so it's like black and white alternating?
Not quite. The poles actually are a very light brown, like a very light wood, or maybe it's yellowy orangey type. And I would say that
interesting.
there are also a bunch of bushes that we can see.
Yeah.
Some are green, some are very, very, very pink, and some are green with like pink and red flowers as well.
Oh wow! This is so. Do we see any grass?
The grass that we can see is off to the side of the road, and it's brown. It's straw-like.
Right. So the whole time I was really thinking like kind of like Chilean Peruvian desert. But now that I hear more about this vegetation, I am thinking maybe more of Ecuador, Colombia, and Mexico. Maybe even Mexico being most likely now.
I will say that the jagged mountains off in the distance, this was probably an important detail. They're not green looking. They look more of a brown.
They're not green. Right, they're more of a brown. Okay. So that would probably suggest maybe my Peru thought may have been more so correct, because Colombia, you wouldn't really see dry mountains like that. So, okay. So, with the yellow road lines, that would also make sense for Peru, wouldn't make sense for Chile. Ecuador still possible, although I think both countries use more concrete poles than wooden poles. So it is a really interesting round here. Unless we're like Baja California near like San Diego or something like that, it's also possible. So can we see the sun?
We cannot, but it could be quite. Can I see a shadow?
Yeah, maybe if you can see a shadow, then that could be really helpful.
Not really.
Right, fair. Okay, so I'm really between those two countries. I'm pretty sure other countries are not really possible. Unless it was like a strange Brazil or something as well. But what color is the sand? Last question, what color is the sand?
It's like a whitish.
Yeah, it's like white? Okay.
It's not like full white, of course, but it is a whiter shade of sand for sure.
Right.
There are actually, this could be a detail as well. Off to the far left, I can make out what looks to be some type of a rock wall, but it's not like stacked rocks on top of each other. It's like more of a cobblestone looking, like this is professionally made, but they are definitely like cobblestone, and it's kind of a large wall.
Yeah. Okay, it's a very interesting detail. I'm still fairly sure we're in the Americas somewhere. I'm thinking of just going like north coast of Peru, near some mountains and near some desert. But really kind of not confident here. I think there's still a number of countries that I may have not considered that it could be.
The palm trees are plentiful. There are quite a number of palm trees.
Yeah, that does make me feel good about Peru or Mexico. I think I still prefer Peru though. Let's go like north central coast of Peru. Well, let's see the round, and then I can tell you how bad this guess is.
It's an interesting round for sure.
Oh, Mexico. It's Mexico.
Yeah, I believe so. When you said Baja, I kind of made a face at the camera. I think it certainly could be.
Yeah.
Hopefully I didn't describe it too bad. North central
coast it was good.
Of Peru.
It was good description.
Look, Cajamarca. And it is indeed Baja California.
Damn it. Yeah. I mean, not terrible.
No, it's just tough because, like, obviously everyone who can see it, and me, like, we have a pretty good idea of what it is. We get the feel, especially if you're more talented at the game. Like I would have gone Baja there, and I'm not even the best. I've never even seen something that south though. To be fair, I don't.
Yeah, that's a really cool round.
But it's like you get this picture in your head when it's being described,
Certainly,
and it's quite a challenge.
It really is. All right, I'll stop watching.
We will go into the final round here. Oh, it's 4 or
Alrighty.
5. Never mind. 4 or 5.
Yeah, yeah, yes. Yeah. We've been taking our time, but it's good. It's good.
So we are on a dirt road. It's
Yep.
quite red. Maybe gets a little
Okay,
more like a lighter orange as you go down the road.
Yep. So I think in Cambodia, Thailand, Brazil, yeah, most likely maybe Nigeria or something. Okay, continue
We're
on.
in a jungly atmosphere. The architecture, it looks like some type of shack. I would say it's tough to say whether the roof is made out of wood or like an aluminum, but I think it's probably a wood.
Uh-huh. Are any of the houses raised off the ground, like Stuart's houses?
So it's not quite a house.
Right.
It's some type of like platform that has a roof, and
Right.
it is on a raised platform, but they're very, very, very small. It's like maybe a foot. It's not significant. They're not. I wouldn't say they're stilts, but it does appear to be raised in some capacity.
Okay, good.
There is a palm tree dead ahead. Probably actually a few more than that. However, the trees closest to us are not palm trees. They are more of like a thinner, wood. I don't know how to describe them. I would say.
Yeah, I got you.
I would say there are definitely points with the width of the tree that you could use your two hands to hold around and your fingers could touch. They're not
Right.
They're not like super thin, but they're not very wide or large.
So I think
And there are leaves on the ground as well. Some of them are fresh. Some of them are quite brown.
So what I've heard so far really makes me like Thailand and Cambodia. Can we tell what side of the road we're driving on? Because that would be crucial for one of those two. Okay, we can't. That's fine.
We can maybe get a look at a pole. It seems to be square, but it's tough to say for certain.
Okay, so Thailand would be more likely, although you can see similar poles in Cambodia. But of course, you could see similar ones in Brazil as well, so I can't count that out yet. So anything else? Because otherwise I think I'll just go for southern Thailand. I mean, like central southern.
No, I think that's
That's
pretty much
basically what you
everything
see?
I can describe.
Great. Yeah, I will just go like on the Cambodian Thailand border, like on the north side of it, like you know what I'm saying?
And
I'm pretty happy with that guess
not
looking
gonna be
at
that
it.
bad of a guess here.
Yeah.
As you can see the
Yeah.
round.
So I meant closer to Cambo is what I meant. Yeah, like there. So yeah, I think it's a good guess. I think it's going to be somewhere in those two countries, probably more likely to be Thailand. So yeah, happy.
Yeah, I think you're going to be pretty happy with that.
Oh,
At
it
least
is
you got
Thai,
Thailand.
but it's down
So
there.
I thought there was a chance it was peninsula based on the trees.
Yeah.
I
Yeah, it
tried
was a
to
bit greener.
I tried to describe them to the best of my ability. This is an interesting side, but I guess for those watching, I feel like these particular trees, which we couldn't see quite as clearly, are just a little bit more common on the peninsula. But I would not go peninsula here. It's just,
I mean,
it does kind of look exactly where you said to me.
yeah. No, yeah, I'm still happy with my guess. I think the kind of big thing for going a bit further south here was how much greenery there is on the side of the road, because it gets quite dry near Cambodia, whereas I don't think you'd see that much grass there. So yeah,
I could have explained that a little bit better.
that's all right. It was still a really good description, and I like your description of the hut because that was pretty accurate and got us a good score.
Yeah, it was tough to see a lot of it. There was so much vegetation, we'll say.
Yeah, true.
And now,
All right, let's see if we can. What score are we on right now?
8,500.
8,500. We can still pull like a 12.5. That'll be good.
I think you'll be able to.
All right, let's see.
We are in a desert, a clear desert.
Okay.
They're not like big mountainous, like desert mountains, I guess, but they're like they're some decent desert looking ridges.
Right.
But they're not like that tall. But they're noticeable. There are a lot of white road lines, all white.
A lot of white road lines. How's the road quality?
It's quite good.
Yep.
The white lines
I'm pretty much
are
at
sharp.
this stage. Sharp. Okay. Yeah, I'm thinking UAE or Chile at the moment. They're my two main thoughts. Okay, continue on though.
There are bollards on the side of the road.
Okay, bollards. Interesting.
I would say we're looking at. I can't say for certain, but I'll just describe them. They are about, I would say, 2 feet tall, something in that neighborhood.
Yep.
They are all white, except for maybe 3/4 of the way up, 4/5 of the way up. There is a black, somewhat diagonal thing that goes across the whole thing.
Yep.
And there is what appears to be a white reflector in the middle of it.
Yeah. Yeah. That's kind of what I expected you to say. So I do think this one should be Chile. The Chilean reflectors are really quite rare, but you do see them, and they're in the European style. So I am feeling good about Chile here, but let's hear a little bit more. Do we see any like yellow warning signs, like the kind of America style?
Don't see any signs really.
Okay.
There are poles off to the side.
Oh yeah, what are they?
They're not on the road, but they're visible.
Are they made of concrete?
It's tough to say for certain.
Okay.
I would say that probably yes. And on the top, we have wires, of course, but there are 3 different like coils, kind of in the shape of a triangle. If you were to connect them all,
Yeah, kind of like a trident shape, or like a reverse trident.
somewhat like that. Yeah, I would say.
Yeah. Okay,
the base of the pole has like maybe going up to about halfway. What I can only call lines.
Right.
And there are maybe about 4 or 5 of those going halfway up.
Yeah. I see what you mean. Yep. Okay, so I'm thinking, could it possibly be Spain? I think Spain is a vague possibility here. I'm just trying to think if there's anything that actually. Do we see any vegetation at all, or is it pretty much just
it
desert?
is completely arid, complete desert. I mean, we have some small rocks on the side of the road. It's sandy as well, but the sand is not like a white sand. It's like exactly the color of what you'd expect to see in a desert. Yeah.
Okay, this has to be northern Spain. It's just gonna be northern. Just chuck me middle of northern Spain on a road angle that fits, and I'm happy with it. I think this should be easy. I'm pretty sure.
All right, here is the round.
See it? Yeah, I'm happy with that. I'm pretty sure. Let me see.
You're saying northern?
Oh no,
Spain?
did I say Spain? I meant Chile.
Yeah,
I meant Chile.
That's
No, legit. I meant Chile.
no, I figured you did. That's
yeah. There's no shot this is Spain. No.
Yeah. Anywhere
That's
in
what I
here?
meant the whole time. Yeah, a bit further south maybe, but yeah, that's good.
It would have been better.
Well. Would have been better. Would have been perfect, basically. Damn it.
There's about the 4,500 to get that near 13K.
Not terrible. We were always kind of in the right region. I can't believe I said Spain there, bro.
I knew what you were talking about. I think there might be a stickler or two in the comments, but I think we all knew you weren't thinking Spain here.
No. All right, that was a fun one. The Peru and the Kenya, they were the killers. They were the killers.
Yeah,
but I think your descriptions both times were good. It was just
it's going to be a challenge. You got to know how to ask or how to answer the questions, and it's tough because sometimes you want to say a certain thing, but you don't want to be misleading.
Yeah. I totally know what you mean.
So on the Australia round, for example, when you were thinking like Malaysia, I was really, I'm like, oh no.
Yeah.
I'm like, how do I bring this one back?
Yeah, true.
But yeah, I think that's a good one to end on, and I think on Zigzag's channel we're going to be doing literally the exact same thing, except with my drawings and then myself trying to guess. So should be a fun challenge. Check out Zigzag. Watch that video. Link is in the description. Thanks for joining us. Any closing
Thank you very
thoughts?
much for having me. It was great fun. Both seeds were a success to some extent, and I hope we can do something in the future because I had a lot of fun today.
Oh, for sure. I think getting about 13K without being able to see the round even is pretty impressive. So we'll see how I do.
I'm happy with it. Yeah, we'll have to see.
All right, take it easy, guys.